So what we have here is ESP32 with an HC SR04 ultrasonic distance measuring device. And what I'm going to do is just show that it works. I've slightly modified the code, but we'll get into that in a moment. So there's 0. There's 3 millimeters. I think you can see that on the screen. There's 8. Bang on. 14. That's 13. That's not bad. Then we get out to 21. Saying 20, not bad. 29, yeah, you can't see it, but trust me. Now, here's an interesting one, is if you're at the, say, 13th, it was Friday the 13th last week, and then you slowly rotate it, it becomes less accurate because you're actually getting some of it bouncing away. So right now it's reading 24, 15, 24. But if you bring it back, I'm on the 14, it's bang on. Now I did have a few issues with getting this set up, but none of it really was the code or that. When things don't work right, the one thing you should suspect is the cable. And even they say that in their manual. If it's not working, maybe it's the cable. Oh well. Yeah, I almost forgot about the pinout again. Okay, VCC 3.3 volts, red wire going over to the sensor. The ground is black, heading over to pin 4, which is that ground. Green is going from GPIO 14 over to pin 2, which is the trigger pin. And the echo pin is the blue one there that goes from roughly pin 3 over to, oops, hey, you can see it in there, GPIO 19. Pretty simple wiring on this one. And the reason I changed the pinout was I'm trying to stay away from strapping pins, which are used for boot up. I'll do this real quick. You can get the zip files for the source and the libraries from that QR code, or you can actually go to their wiki page and download the INO. They don't have the library there, though. And, of course, your handy Arduino document website, because you're going to have to refer to it occasionally. And if you're having problems getting the Arduino IDE working, you might want to look at my Mailbag 67-ish Fixing ESP32 issues, having to deal with drivers and one other problem. Okay, to load the project, the wiki page isn't good enough. They get to a point where they say, oh, but you need to install the SR04 library. They have no link to it. And when you get to the library section, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Who knows which one's right? But in the zip file, and that's over here, if you use the zip one and you open it up, you get this compressed file here. Now I'm putting all my libraries in the directory I called ESP32 libraries. There's a one for servo. But if you go over here and double click on that one and then drag it over here and put a copy in, you've now got the files there. So let's just pull this open. They've got the examples, the C++ one, the header file. So now it's all actually sitting in your library. Now the next thing is I'll fire up the Arduino IDE. So now we need to load the project. We go up to File, Open. Go down to that library, go to there, Example, this one here, and then Open. Then I usually just close the old one. It's all set up. The baud's 9600. You can keep that, but I'm changing mine to 115,200 to match it down here in the corner, because for some reason mine just doesn't like 9600. So now what we should be able to do is just click here, because all the source or all the library stuff is inside that folder. And we'll find out if this works. Oops. I'm actually using trigger as pin 14 and echo as 19. And now I can compile it or verify it. Well, the moment of truth is coming up. Good, it saw the library. I had problems initially with that because I didn't realize where everything had to go. So the next step, and I'll just show you the code. This doesn't have that extra print line of test. So now we can upload. And now it's uploading. So at this point now, you want to go up to the serial monitor. And there it is showing the distances. Whooping my... you can't see that obviously. So, just to show that it's working. Oops. Come on, focus. There we go. You can see the numbers below it. So it does work. So that's actually the complete steps for getting this thing uploaded. And now, of course, you're going to want to go File and Save. That way you're keeping these ones in here. Now I can go through the code. So a quick explanation on how this part of it works. It's going to transmit out a signal on one of these and receive it on the other. That's easy. Okay, you give it a trigger pulse of 10 microseconds, and that activates it. It then sends out a burst of 8 cycles at 40 kilohertz. That wave's going to take some time to go out, hit an object out here, bounce back, and say the return time is something like, we'll just use 1 millisecond. I don't know what it is. But what the module's then going to do is on the echo pin, once it's all got it the signal back, it's going to pull the echo pin high for the amount of time it took for that pulse to go out, bounce, and then come back. So if it takes 1 millisecond to go over and hit there, 1 millisecond back, then it'd be 2 milliseconds long pulse. Uh, so let's just say this one here, you fire it off, the object's way over here, it takes 4 microseconds to get there, then obviously this is going to be low for longer. Then when it receives the pulse back, this will be 8 microseconds. And that's what this pulse in command does. It will actually take or measure this time here. You say high, that high, not the other high. Then what it does is the pulse in command goes do 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 do. Oh, yes, went high, and it measures this amount of time. And then when it goes low, it stops and it returns that value of how long it took for this pulse in here. And then you better divide it by 2 to get the distance. And then take in the speed of sound, etc. So that's how that part works. So here's the code. This is the INO file, and you're like, wait a second, you just talked about a pulsein. Well, it's not in the header either. It's over in this part of the library, the SR04 period CPP. And what you do is, this is the C code part. So when you call this function here, and just remember, all the header is stuff that would have been stuffed right in here, but you're keeping it separate for ease of programming, they say. So when you call this SR04 point distance bracket, it's actually calling this over here, and there's the trigger pin, 14. It fires off for 10 microseconds, then, or actually it pulls it low, then it sends it out for 10 microseconds on high, and then pulls it back low. And there's the pulse in. So that actually got the module to send out its 8 cycles at 40 kilohertz. And then this just waits for that echo pin to go high. And when it goes high, it starts recording how long it's high. And when it's got that time, say 2 milliseconds or whatever, it returns the pulse in as duration 2 milliseconds. And then you got this microseconds to centimeters. Guess what it does? It takes that time. Hopefully it divides it by 2. Let's see, let's find the code down here somewhere. Here we go. They've actually already built it into here. That comes down here, it takes a duration, times it by 100, divides it by that, and that all calculates it out to the distance. And then that gets returned here. Well, it actually gets returned up to here, and from here it gets sent back to over here. So that's actually how it works. And that's why it's very deceiving when you see some code like this. You're like, hey, that's real simple. It's because somebody else actually built all of this for you and then built all of this for you. Of course, anybody that's actually building this and this isn't listening to this channel because they'd be just probably laughing at me and going, yeah, of course, whatever. So that's actually how it works. And as I said before, I'm trying to avoid using any pins that are the strapping pins because I think you do get to have some issues, and other people have made comments about them too. So that's it for the code. And if you wanted to start building this type of code, start learning C++ real quick. Oh, and let's pull up the pulsein. Here's the Arduino documents, and it goes into all about it. where if you have it high, it waits till it sees the high and then starts counting. That's also good for finding some of these other commands like print line, etc. And if you're into these ones here, digital write, the trigger pin, pulling it low, syntax. Okay, let's go back. That's where they've got them all in here, and you can read all the little details on how they should work. I'm not guaranteeing they all work perfectly, because everybody that designs these boards could make slight changes. So that's it for this video. It's pretty neat looking at the code and then following it all through. I've got to clean up the way I do my library structure, though. Have a good one. Bye.